Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes.
Welcome home. Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Mornings are full of BS. Quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Hey, I'm better than all y'all. It's my first game, but I'm definitely better than all y'all.
You know that you are capable of enjoying the rain and frolicking freely without filming it and the rest of time.
What?
Now, you've just co-signed, okay? You just co-signed at least 3 million, 8.55 million back. People who just go out of their way.
Oh my God.
Boundaries that Black creators have set.
Hey, you niggas wanna be woke so bad, bro. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Yo, y'all wanna be woke so bad that white people can't frolic in the rain now? I don't even know what to say. Where have we came? Like, it's over. How do you see a white people frolic in the rain and you're like, see, that's it right there.
Like, you ordered your fists up like you were really angry about somebody just being happy. Something don't happen like that. I just don't record it.
They're not fucking co-signing, disrespecting my ancestors, bro. They fucking disrespecting me. I'm fucking friends. She knows she doing. Fuck around her. I can't. I'm just so fucking. It's the problem I have with frolicking. Bro. Hey, come on, dude. She get upset.
Content though.
It is.
Like, it looks like even though they put the content, it'd be one thing. Look at it. But hey, it's unproblematic content. You found a problem with. What does it say about you?
She really like.
No, fuck, I hate when people frolic like that.
You knew what she was co-signing, bro.
And now you're one of those people. So, why? What is so important to all of you?
I don't know why I find this funny. This is cringy and funny to say time because she is so serious.
Grandma. Yeah, she got family, like relatives.
Thanks. And
Friends?
she wanted the world to know how fucking pissed she is.
I'm just, That is the best thing she could have said. I didn't expect it, but that was the best thing she could have said.
Hey, nah, this is fucking ridiculous.
Fuck you.
Why is she treating us like that?
It's easy for me to stand firm in what I believe. Male Black creators frolicked in the grass. Female Black creators started to frolic in the grass. Okay. Oh, poor Drew had a hard childhood, says the white woman to the Black woman in America. I'm not picking. Nobody is picking on her. I pointed out the obvious. But y'all really are not picking is the reaction. Like, okay, complete and total stretch, right? Y'all still went out of your way to demean me.
Fucking stupid to the internet. Meeting you.
No, I love it when I always want favorite people to see how quickly niggas, they gotta pick over the first card. As soon as you play the trigger card, it's over. reverse card coming down, bro. That victim reverse card, bro, because this is the craziest flip in the world. You see the response, though. Mind you, her response is probably a bunch of black people telling her she's stupid.
But don't look, she's responding to the response was, I'm confused on how and why is her enjoying the rain problematic, and how does that correlate to black folks? That's such a...
Look at the other one.
I know.
And this is the response. She's like, man, I had up here with these respectful notes. I've had up here. Look at how y'all responding to me. It's the response.
Hey.
The respectful nose is what's really getting me right now.
Me down, call me out when it's ready. This is my, you know, my own TikTok. But defend Drew in her hard childhood, because she's the only one who ever had a hard childhood. She's the only one who's ever tried to get her inner child, like, out and had fun. That's the thing. I simply stated she was frolicking in the rain, which meant she opened the floodgates. People out of their way to disrespect black creators. Which
I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting for the fucking dots to be connected. What is she eating? What are you saying? How is that disrespecting black creators? Even if you're saying it's a trend, if it's a trend that's happening, you're saying that white people cannot participate in trends even when it's maybe relatable to them? What are you saying? How is white people participating in trends?
Oh, fuck you. I shot you in the fucking face, bro.
He has their own fucking shitty TikTok and judge whether or not somebody is dealing with their problems. Like, I don't know. I object! I can't go on the road. Because my problem
is she really trying to segregate trends? She's like, this is a black trend, and you need to do white trends. Yeah. And if you do a black trend, you're disrespecting. It's not like she, but it's not as if like Drew, whatever. Not like she's saying that white people started this trend. No, that's not what she's saying. I would assume that if it's a well-known trend, people will probably know it came from the black community. Even if it does, who cares? Like I don't. It's a trend. It's a TikTok trend. I'm pretty sure she didn't upload and be like, "Oh, I can't." What? So then, I'm about to get real. I'm just crawling. I'm about to get real disrespectful for this fucking fraud.
y'all didn't hear that. Y'all just heard, oh my gosh, she's calling us racist. This ain't is a racist. She's calling us. I have caffeine for this. And I'm really not screaming at you, but this is ridiculous. Y'all are so reactionary. You're so ready to react. Nobody listens to response.
We're fucking listening. Tell us what you meant.
The first thing that uploaded was like, this is such the definition of beating around the bush. Nobody even know what you said. Then, if these are the two most problematic responses that you had, that you decided to put up on your TikTok, these are the most respectful ways to say, I'm confused, I don't know what you're saying. Bro, you are fucking bored.
And you're confused. So they ask, what did you mean? And in your response, you confused us further. How is that possible?
Because at this point, we're just making assumptions of what you mean.
Yeah, so we tried to pay attention to what the fuck you meant. Now we just think you're dumb. I'm probably gonna jump to that conclusion.
No, and also, like, you sitting here saying, it's so crazy that you responded with somebody frolicking in the fucking rain by saying it's disrespectful to black people. You had a crazy response from everybody else. What are you talking about?
I hate when people have a dumbass opinion or objectively it's just confusing, doesn't make sense, whatever.
Incorrectly.
And they'll stop dismissing my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you're wrong. That's not dismissive.
Like your opinion is based on something that's just factually correct. You disagree with me? Yeah, that's dismissive.
Are you gaslighting me? Okay, stop.
Somebody probably in the rain is not because a bunch of black people don't even know. Yo, it's so obvious because the black people didn't even know the trending was for them to even here. Like nobody, black people even know what
please seek out, get the proper help. Not the other people.
What the fuck?
I know someone.
Yeah, click that video, man.
Click the video, man. Until next time, we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Your local Some of the top-rated sofas on sale now. Take a look at visualashley.com to shop and save today. And see why Ashley is
Dangerous now, though. Oh.
Hey, fuck y'all. Y'all suck. Your mama suck. Your daddy a bitch.
He is.
Cut all your thumbs off. I'm better than you.
Oh shit.
Put a jalapeno in your dick. And smile for me. Fuck you. Losers.
The month of September, which for most people is just the best days of the year, as the weather is probably the best it will ever be as the holidays roll around. However, for the military, that's the end of the fiscal year, which means spending as much money as possible so you don't lose it next year, and also the dreaded idea that you will have to redo all of those online trainings that are required when the year starts over. But it looks like
The one thing this thing does not have on controller settings, and that is lock.
And this is Sergeant Major Brinston. In an absolutely clear bit of messaging from the top, Army leadership is now telling soldiers not to complete the dozen or so online courses it requires them to take. At the press event on Tuesday at Fort Benning, Georgia, Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Brinston, was very blunt, instructing commanders to not assign the courses the Army made mandatory for service members. Let's be honest, the Sergeant Major's Army is not ordering this to happen, right? Above some of the officer levels to put that down. And I hope that his sphere of influence as the top enlisted person can move the needle even a bit. Whether it's 12 to 8, or we just do absolutely nothing because I have purple thoughts on it. He says, don't do it, for instance, that over in the Army sent to commanders at that event. Set priorities for your organization and fight for it. I don't know if the Sergeant Major understands that you can't just fight for it and not do it. And it's not like commanding officers out there are going to say, guys, just don't do the... Man, that is actually illegal to do. And it's kind of funny that these commanders, a lot of them don't have a lot of what is a job, not a job that requires more training, basic annual ones that are just general military training, but God forbid you have your job training that goes with that as well, that maybe comes around. For example, there's corpsmen and medics out there that give flu shots, and every single year they also have to do their flu training on how to give them, and that is another thing. So add it to 13. Army Chief Staff James General Congo and others as part of the opening day events for the Maneuver Warfare Conference. Military.com first reported Brinston's comments. The three-day conference is geared around quotations focusing on tomorrow's fight, which includes how the Army handles its field, which has been seriously struggling with this year. Listen to the internet. People have said this. They've said it for so many years. As the Army had the woke commercial that was out there with Emma, and people were talking about that. You had people talking about diversity. People were like, what about the warfighter? And now we're finally seeing it. If that's what this event is meant to be, and finally, I'm surprised that it's, you know, an enlisted person saying it. Why have we not seen people that are commanders out? Preparing for the future may also mean ditching some of the Army's current policies, such as the courses, which Prince was quick to encourage commanders at the briefing to do. Right now, soldiers have to complete roughly a dozen online classes each year in the fields such as ethics, safety, and training. Since they're mandatory, commanding officers often deal with the administrative burden in making sure soldiers go online to complete the assignments.
Gentlemen, welcome to the project. The project is a 75-hour experience. It's for men just like you. You know you've got greater potential, and there's a higher purpose for you here. The project is not an experience.
Also, not to forget the dreaded idea that this happens every October. So you have this rope hanging around your neck as you're going to be hung out to dry if you don't have them done before Thanksgiving. And if you don't, you're not going on any leave. And it's pretty much like the dangling carrot in front of you. And a lot of this is on stuff that's just like almost common sense. Safety. Think about stuff around you. Ethics. Don't do stuff that's mean to other people because of X, Y, or Z reason. It says the online lessons run through the Department of Defense website with a history of practice through can be seriously time-consuming. The Army's leaders want to free up that time so it can be spent on more useful objectives, such as preparing for training exercises, keeping up with exercise, or maintaining unit readiness ahead and during deployment. This is especially important for the service as it shifts its strategic focus away from the Middle East and counterinsurgency and toward more conventional, larger-scale conflicts. Ours. And I'm glad they noted this in the article. I'm glad whoever wrote this, I think his name was Nick something. I have to appreciate this man to account for that, because we all know that to make some of these websites work, sometimes you have to go to Microsoft Edge. Sometimes it's Chrome. Sometimes you got to go to the whole internet, rest in peace. But, you know, that was a very real reality, as some of these things load in certain browsers better than others. Encouraging leaders to stop making life difficult for their soldiers is something of a theme for Grinson, who made a similar recommendation in 2021. He advised leaders to stop random training events just for the hell of it. Other Army officials were even more dismissive of the courses, which again, the Army made mandatory for all soldiers. Talking about that, General, we were talking about earlier, seems shocked that the required online classes are actually being completed as ordered, saying he never did them when leading a division. Back in my day, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're trying to make us great again. We're trying to get this back to focusing on what matters. And I find it funny that someone is realizing that these are the it seems like, is it only applicable to the people like me out there? Is this just how out of touch?
Hey, if y'all tap the arrow, the top arrow on your D-pad, you can tag enemies.
Speaking, general training's not exaggerating. Where you have to click through, and they're getting smarter to where you have to or you have to click things, so it makes you want to stay on that page longer and waste your time.
Start tagging enemies.
Now it's like, how can you earn the most of your time and make these as unbearable as possible? And that leads to my question. Can't we just cover these topics through a formal talking discussion that would probably be more valuable? Actually sit there and realize that people are trying to on the screen as much as possible to just get through it and progress through it as it's just some kind of hazing event. I would have to say this is hazing. We need to ban it immediately. And that general says people actually do this stuff. McConville said to the news conference, I agree. McConville has been clear this year that his priority is overall Army readiness. Along with the Secretary of the Army, Christine Warmoth, he has said that the Army has a problem bringing in and retaining soldiers and is focused on new initiatives to better prepare soldiers. That includes a preparatory course for underqualified applicants to take before taking boot camp, as well as a series of enlistment bonuses aimed at getting new recruits to deploy sooner. I agree. We don't have time to be focusing on online trainings. I mean, we've gone to this blended system. Like, you know, the ones hurt yourself, end your life kind of thing. Yeah, that one would be important to do in real life. But then there's some that you're just like, why are we covering this? Why is this a thing? And what this all becomes is literally check boxes. What's our percentage? How can we quantify this as much as possible? It doesn't matter if these people actually know the material from the training. God forbid that even matters. We just numbers, production, to seem like we're doing something and to report to people above us that we're actually doing it. And let's be honest, a lot of the people that do these online click-through trainings are staying after work, doing it during their lunchtime, having to stress about this. And I even had this about a week ago where I stayed until just trying to do trainings after I was at work for already 10 plus hours. So I feel the pain, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be this way. We have a better way of doing it. I just think that we should empower our leadership to deliver this, if that's what we're going to do. But let me know what you guys think about these online trainings. Do you think they should be totally banned and gone away, or do they have a place for certain things because nonchalant, not that big of a deal? Or do you think that we should have some just in-person classes? Any other stories that you guys want me to cover, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all the good stuff. I love you guys. See you next time.
Threats in the area. Enemy in the area.
Staring into the middle distance, he's now you. Hey, dude.
This went totally wrong. Now this interaction does occur between a bartender who looks like an Air Force airman that's part of TAC P. Now let's read his Facebook post right here, where he kind of gives the setup for this entire situation. Myself and 5 other military friends were at Lodo Lounge when this drunk bartender, Josh Wiedekamp, started to destroy someone's military ID because he used to be a cop and knows what an ID is supposed to look like, and bends her card and throws it in the trash, refusing to let us retrieve. They told us to call the cops. You can see that the blonde bartender is 1, urging us to call the cops, and 2, also calls the cops. I appreciate her efforts since she realizes that he is getting out of hand. I never had been more heated about a non-racial interaction with someone and the straight disrespect he had fellow service members, especially when the Marines, one of the most elite fighting forces. I'll do quotations because people laugh when I say that. But historically talking about in the world context and history, and that has been hated on by almost every other U.S. military branch for a few reasons. If you guys don't know, I actually did have a series where I was
Yeah, I'm better than you. Fuck you.
Why run in the Air Force? But I somehow forgot to do the Army, and I'm somehow forgetting to do the Marine Corps, so those videos are coming out right now. To preface this whole thing, do comments below. Appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, I promise you. I'm a Navy corpsman that's been with the Marines for a little bit of time. To tell you guys a little bit that I, as a biased person, have firsthand.
I thought that she got out and didn't even put a claim in. You know, not that she was denied. I thought she
How many
didn't put one
different
in.
titles can you have to name one branch? We just have let's go here where God forbid a Marine does get the chance to get out. Actually, let's make a correction. They're probably going to notify you on the back of their car with the U.S. Marine Corps sticker, their don't forget they're going to have flaggers around the license plate. God forbid they don't have some other trashy thing on the back there that just really epitomize the Marine Corps culture to really let you know I'm a Marine. Now, this not on the highway, on their truck. They're also going to make sure in the they're the person that's the ego lifter. They no longer have anybody else. And no matter if they've only been reps like myself, they're the people that are working on their VA disability to ensure that essentially they're going to have spine damage for the rest of their lives just to prove their buddy across the hallway when the parents can't lift more than they can. But I will say, Marines tend in this ego category China shots. They're kind of rough around the edges, but they're going to be good. So that's not based on no credibility at all, or no value. You're worthy of their defense. You know, then is uniforms. Looking at their uniforms, everybody loves
you done made it to the courthouse already. Good luck.
It's got a combination cover.
Hey, appreciate you, dog.
You are a it has so much heritage to it. You've got the neck that resembles the other necks from back in their history. You've got the Battle of Chapultepec blood stripe on the side for the NCOs that are out there represent. I shout to you guys. But realistically, there is history there that people think these are some of the best looking uniforms. I will tell you also the Marpat is probably the best, most military looking uniform compared to maybe our guacamole type AWs. And if you look at the Army, they somehow come a little bit of ways from that. The Air Force and Space Force is just all
everybody mic'd up.
Around type thing. But I still think the Marine Corps, and most people will agree on this, the Marine Corps Marpat is. We won't mention purple suits. We're not going to mention that. Green on green is just so basic. We'll just keep that there. But we're just talking about the alphas, okay? We'll just keep that because that's what most people think of. And it doesn't look like the sailor for us. And yeah, I will say it looks sharp in my opinion. Now the third one here, there's a lot of debate that's going to happen. I already know it. The Marines are first to fight. They're an amphibious force to go from the water onto land. Now, of course, it's not been the case in the past, decade or two where we looked at Iraq or Afghanistan and OIS. We're not going from the water to the shores and attacking these areas. It was mostly land-based, which is actually kind of different for the Marine Corps and what their mission is. And I know people are going to say, too, okay, all right, you don't have to be so mean. But yes, in theory, the Marines are first place. That's one thing that people they talk about that. But if you look at it, obviously there are other forces or different assets from other services that could make them first to fight.
Man, what?
The Marine Corps is more so known for this than I would say the other branches.
Hey, motivator.
So it's okay.
What are you listening
Johnny,
to?
I know you're upset that I'm not mentioning the Army as being better than the Marine Corps. I know that's why you clicked on this video. And of course, it's going to be the quotation for elite fighting force. Now, people, when they rank the branches, when they talk about which ones are the most lethal or the most combat ready, a lot of people look at the Marine Corps first. That's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about SEALs and RSOC and Raiders, the White Berets, all these other units. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about everything combined, the conventional forces, everything here. And I will say the Marines do hold that the best, right? That's what is known to be up there. And that's also why the Marine Corps does sell the title of Marine. If you look at any Marine Corps advertisement, they sell that title so hard. It's like when you work at a job, when you're like, hey, I might get a pay raise, and like, we're going to give you a title. And they're like, but do I eventually get a pay raise? And they're like, I'm going to give you a title. You're going to like it. It's called
in the face and you didn't die.
And you totally forget any of the but at least you can start to have a Marine. And that may piss off some people here as well, but it is what it is. And that's why you'll see people that do have a Marine title in their thumbnail. You're going to see views go through the sky. It's because the title Marine and that ability, capability those forces are so known to everybody that it almost does give more notoriety to them. Shout out to Jameson Travels and Original Human as they talk about this, but not where Original Human was now the fifth one here is they have the best living conditions. You guys get the outdoor experience. You're going to be able to have a camping to the extreme. They offer so many different options of places you could be at. They've been proven to be in places that are desert hot, different climates, also in jungles and other places like that around the world. So I will say that you're going to get your full experience with those areas, and I just don't think the Navy offers that same thing, or the Air Force. So realistically, those types of travel are just really great. Plus, on top of that, I believe it's like over 20 different course meal of your choosing. 3 meals a day, comes prepackaged for your own individual use. So realistically, I would say this is better than the Navy's hot chow. You're looking at this from the perspective of maybe it's hot on the ship, and at least they have that. But getting to pick your own meal every day, come on, guys. You guys know the Marine Corps is better for that. Okay, I'm lying. I would say the last thing here is brotherhood, and that is essentially because people have watched so many different movies and shows about the military, which the Marine Corps does have this brotherhood aspect to it. Now, a lot of people that are in like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's your perspective. But I will say as a whole, as a macro perspective, not your micro anecdotal perspective, there is a brotherhood, and I think a lot of people don't see it until they actually leave the military. But if you say you're a Marine to someone else that wasn't a Marine, there is an instant communication or bond that does happen there. Probably stronger than others because it is a smaller branch where they will relate more closely than maybe how big the branches are for the Army and the Navy and such. Probably hated by every other single branch in the U.S. military and kind of the stereotypes that go with that. Again, this is brotherly love. This is not a true hate on the Marine Corps. This is not a bringing your shields, bringing your pitchforks to make sure you jab it into your brother over there. That's not what this is about, because I know people are going to be pissed off, but this is just why we talk about the different stereotypes and for you to understand the culture that's there. But as always, if you guys do like what we do on this channel, you can always support the channel here on patreon.com, which is down in the description below for some special perks and benefits. Also, we do have a membership link on this YouTube channel for special perks and benefits on the YouTube channel specifically. But as always, if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys.
Embrace fast heartburn relief with Tums.
I have a very serious question to ask here, and it is, are we headed towards a very big, serious conflict? Because everything we're seeing through the media, through the news, as far as numbers and getting people into the military in this crisis that's happening, it just